What's going on, guys? Juice Messi here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to your daily dose of transfer gossip, and today it's Friday the 1st of June. So we have now started a brand new month, and in fact in less than 2 weeks time now the World Cup kicks off in Russia. I honestly can't wait for it, and hopefully throughout it we do get some very good transfers. So just before we get started, as always, if you enjoy the video, show your support by leaving a like rating, and be absolutely awesome and greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, press the subscribe button for more and press the notifications tab next to it to receive an alert every single time I upload a video. If you missed yesterday's video, down below in the description box, the current schedule every single day at 8 AM is a transfer video, and there's a second upload that'll be 9 PM. And finally, in the comment section below, would you be interested in one video per month looking at the best transfers or potentially top 10 transfers of the month just gone by? So for example, in a couple of days time I could do the top 10 transfers or best transfers of May. But again, let me know your thoughts down below in that comment section. But now, let's jump on to confirmed deals. The very first one is a player who used to be very good on FIFA older team, in fact, being Carcelo Gonzalez. Yesterday he joined ZIDANE LEAVES on a permanent basis from Granada in Spain for €2.5 million. And then we've got Marcano going to Roma from FC Porto. It's a free transfer and he signed a 3-year deal with the Italian team. Then we've got quite a few managerial switches, and the very first one is for Everton fans. They have replaced Sam Allardyce with Marco Silva, who used to manage Hull City and Watford previously in the Prem. And he signed a 3-year contract with them. And with Sam Allardyce, Everton fans weren't too happy with their style of football, and you'd imagine under Marco Silva, it will improve. And then move on to the full confirmation of Frank Lampard getting his first managerial job, and he's taking over Derby County in the Championship. And just like Marco Silva before, has signed a 3-year contract, and honestly, I think he'll do a good job. I know he's not started the job yet or anything, so it's actually pretty much impossible to call how well he'll do, but it's like a gut feeling. I think he'll do well for them, just they need to make sure they give him time. I know if he starts off poorly there will be a lot of pressure on him, and it's understandable why as well, but given it's his first managerial job, they're taking a risk on him. They shouldn't get rid of him straight away if it's not going to plan. And as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, it will be pretty interesting to see how well him and Gerrard do in their first proper manager jobs. And the final confirmed is actually a very surprising one regarding Real Madrid. So Zinedine Zidane is no longer their manager, and he called a press conference and announced that he'll be leaving the club despite winning 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And the Real Madrid club president, being Florentino Perez, has admitted the club were not prepared for the decision and have no clear idea about who can replace him. Now of course they did win the Champions League, but in regards to league performance, they finished so far behind Barca. But despite being manager for just 3 years with Real Madrid, he has won so much. I believe actually I saw a stat, on average he's won a trophy every 16 games or something around that. So not only did he have a great legacy as a player, being one of the world's very best, but now as a manager, he's got a great legacy in that in just a short amount of time. He hasn't said if he'll carry on being a manager or not, which some people say he may retire already, and others, he may wait for the right job. I can't see it happening, but imagine France have a very poor World Cup. I think honestly Zidane, he could become the next France manager if that did happen. But now let's move on to potential deals. The very first one's going to be a manager and a potential replacement for Zidane at Real Madrid. So first up, according to The Independent, Mauricio Pochettino is Real Madrid's first choice to replace Zidane. Then we have 2 contradictory reports. The very first one's according to Sport in Spain. Pochettino's new contract at Tottenham includes a clause that allows him to leave for Real Madrid or PSG. And bearing in mind, around 8 days ago, so not very long whatsoever, he signed a long-term contract with Tottenham. And the Times came out with a report after that saying basically the story from Sport, it's not true because in his current contract, the new one, there is no clause. And that would mean Spurs do remain in a very strong position if Real Madrid do come calling. Now Spurs do have a great project and again just signed a new contract with them, but if Real Madrid came calling like a potential once in a lifetime opportunity, you gotta imagine he'd be interested. But I imagine in the next couple of weeks we'll find a replacement for Zidane at Real Madrid. Next I've gone to one for Chelsea, and again it is regarding a manager. This one is according to Sky Italia. The €8 million release clause in Sarri's contract at Napoli expired yesterday. He's still under contract with Napoli until 2020. If Chelsea want him, Napoli want €8 million. And now Sarri is considering suing Napoli, and vice versa from that, Napoli are considering suing Sarri. It's a bit of a tongue twister, and obviously Napoli have replaced Sarri already with Ancelotti. Next up, we've gone to a couple for Arsenal. The very first one is according to the Times. Arsenal have offered a new 5-year contract to Aaron Ramsey in their first significant move after appointing Unai Emery. And Arsenal also linked to a player non-FIFA older team, according to L'Equipe in France, and Arsenal are on the verge of signing 17-year-old midfielder Yacine Adli from PSG. And to the right hand side of Aaron Ramsey, we've got Mario Balotelli, and according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Arsenal have reportedly decided to enter the race to sign the striker, who's even Nice in a free transfer this summer. Balotelli had an interview yesterday and proudly said that right now he doesn't know what's going to happen in his future, doesn't know what club he's going to go to, but if Arsenal are there, he might choose them. Next though, we go on to Fredericks, and this one's according to the Daily Mirror. West Ham have agreed a deal to sign Ryan Fredericks on a free transfer from Fulham and will join in a long-term contract. He was previously linked to a move to Crystal Palace as well, and despite Fulham getting promoted, it seems to be moving on. And now a player was playing for West Ham last season but didn't really do too well for them. Joe Hart is set to reject an approach from Sporting because the offer is short of his £120,000 a week wages at Man City. Now let's say this story is true because there's quite a big chance it's not, by the way. But if Joe Hart is still asking for 120 grand a week, despite not playing well now for say like 3 years, because at Torino he was pretty horrendous, at West Ham exact same thing. And if I remember correctly, his last season at City wasn't that great either. And this story also ties in, by the way, because Rui Patricio, a goalkeeper from Sporting, is heading to Napoli. And now a very short one according to Sky Sports News saying Leicester City are considering a £40 million bid for Aston Villa's highly rated midfielder Jack Grealish. Now I know player prices are now inflated a lot because of the transfer market, and also that's understandable why, but 40 mil for Jack Grealish, in my opinion, that seems like far too much. Now if Leicester sign for 40 mil and he does a good job, fair play to them and fair play to him as well, but I think still 40 mil at this point in time, it does seem quite extortionate. But I do suppose the reason that fee might be that high right now is because Mahrez apparently is very close to joining City, that's like 75 mil. And the final one on this page, a very interesting one in fact, from reports in Italy. Roma's director Monchi yesterday had a meeting with Mino Raiola and found an agreement for Justin Kluivert. The winger has now accepted a 5-year contract, and Roma will start talking with Ajax and try and finalise a deal around €20 million. Now I have seen a few articles here and there about Justin Kluivert's apparent attitude at Ajax right now, and obviously I haven't fully read them, so I can't really say my proper opinion on it. It seems he's not very happy at the club at this moment, and in fact before Ajax tried selling him to Tottenham without even telling him. And next up we've got a few rumours surrounding Manchester United, and the very first one is according to Manchester Evening News. United have put in the finishing touches on a deal to sign Shakhtar midfielder Fred, while the Brazil international is currently in England with his national team. And Telegraph has said Mourinho wants the deals for Fred and Toby Alderweireld wrapped up and secured by the time the World Cup starts this month. And linking into a rumour from yesterday's episode about Marko Arnautovic, according to various different outlets there, in fact a picture was going around on Twitter of Mourinho at the stadium watching Arnautovic play for Austria against Russia in a friendly. And now move on to Alvaro Morata. According to Evening Standard today, Juve have asked Chelsea if they want to buy forward Gonzalo Higuain as part of their efforts to re-sign Alvaro Morata this summer. And now we've gone to a player also in the Premier League to move to the Serie A today, being Moussa Dembele from Tottenham. So according to the Telegraph, Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan and Napoli are all interested in signing the Tottenham midfielder. His agent did say Dembele won't be signing a new contract this summer with Spurs, and potentially Spurs could cash in on that now. And a move to Italy, it might be a decent move for all parties because Tottenham's selling to a club that's not actually a rival to them, and it could also be a good move for him because all four of those clubs are obviously very good. He is a fantastic player, but the article doesn't mention any kind of fee, but obviously going to the Serie A, it'd be a lot less than if he was to move to another Premier League club. And the final players page is going to be Jerome Boateng, and the source is going to be built in Germany. They say Jurgen Klopp wants to add Bayern Munich defender Jerome Boateng to partner Virgil van Dijk at the heart of Liverpool's defence next season. It's believed to take an offer around €45 million, £40 million, to convince the club to sell. Now I want to point out very quickly that it does seem that Build aren't actually that reliable whatsoever. I think the reliable one are Sport Build. Now of course I would love Jerome Boateng at Liverpool, but I can't see it happening, and one thing about Boateng, despite his quality, despite how good he is, his injury record has started to get very bad. Like he is a world class defender, but in the last 2 years has missed a lot of football, and that's quite a worrying sign. And next up, as you can see, we've got 3 Courtois on the screen and 1 Alisson. So first up, according to Sky Sports News, Chelsea are likely to sell Courtois and are considering entering the race for Roma talent Alisson. And this is because Chelsea have decided to end contract talks with a goalkeeper, but doesn't say why. And DiMarzio said that PSG target Courtois is not going to renew his deal with Chelsea, with Liverpool and Real Madrid also interested alongside PSG. And DiMarzio also said Chelsea are considering entering the race for the Roma goalkeeper Alisson. I did see someone tweet in fact saying that it could be a bit of a goalkeeper merry-go-round this summer, because it could mean Courtois goes to Atletico Madrid, Oblak to Liverpool, Mignolet to Roma, and Alisson to Chelsea. Now I personally can't really see that happening, but if it was to happen, it'd be very interesting to see. And moving on to the next page, and the first 2 are in fact according to BBC Sport. Man City are on the verge of completing a £100 million double swoop for Riyad Mahrez and Jorginho. Now I'm not sure if it's 60 mil for Mahrez and 40 mil for Jorginho, but some sites are saying it's actually 75 total for Mahrez, that's after additional fees. And you can already tell the City record-breaking team for next season is going to be even better. Next up we go on to one according to Marca in Spain. Real Madrid are ready to go head to head with Barcelona for the signature of Tottenham attacking midfielder Christian Eriksen this summer. If Pochettino was to become Real Madrid manager, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if he went for the likes of Eriksen or Harry Kane. And now we have an update regarding Lewandowski's future at Bayern Munich, according to Daily Telegraph. Bayern Munich are adamant they will not sell Robert Lewandowski this summer, despite the striker having told them he wants to leave. Yesterday it was made public knowledge by his agent that he wants to leave Bayern this summer and wants a new challenge in his career. And so far, you've got likes of PSG, Man United, Chelsea, and also Real Madrid. They're all interested in him. Now, Bayern would get a massive fee for Lewandowski, and if they can find the right replacement for him this summer, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up selling him. And the final one today is according to Sport in Spain again. PSG would be prepared to tempt Cristiano Ronaldo away from Real Madrid with an annual salary of 45 million euros. A lot of places the other day said Ronaldo right now is unhappy with how much he's earning at Real Madrid, and it's around £350,000 per week, which obviously is a massive amount of money, but in comparison to Neymar and Messi, it's not even close. And who knows, with Zidane leaving the club today, could Ronaldo follow him? But that is going to be it for this video, guys. So as always, if you enjoyed and enjoyed transfers, show support by leaving a like rating, that'd be absolutely awesome and greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, press the subscribe button for more, and press the notifications tab next to it to receive an alert every single time I upload a video. If you missed yesterday's video, it was down below in the description box, and the current schedule, every day at 8 AM is a transfer video, a second upload if there is one, that'd be 9 PM. And finally, in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on me doing one video per month with the top 10 transfers or best transfers of that month just gone by? Let me know your thoughts down below. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.